Welcome to Bullet Point History. Today, we delve into the life of one of the most influential figures in science, Charles Darwin, from his birth in 1809 to his groundbreaking theories. Join us as we explore his remarkable journey. Born on February 12, 1809, in Shrewsbury, England, Charles Robert Darwin was the fifth of 6 children. His father, Robert Darwin, was a successful physician, and his mother, Susanna Darwin, née Wedgwood, came from the wealthy Wedgwood pottery family. Sadly, Charles lost his mother at the young age of 8, an event that would shape his early life. Surrounded by the beauty of nature in the English countryside, young Charles developed a fascination for the natural world. Whether collecting beetles or exploring the countryside, his curiosity was boundless. This early interest in nature would later prove crucial in shaping his scientific career. Charles attended Shrewsbury School as a boarding student from 1818 to 1825. However, he found the classical curriculum uninspiring, preferring to spend his time exploring nature and conducting chemical experiments with his older brother Erasmus. His father, disappointed with Charles's lack of academic progress, once said to him, "You care for nothing but shooting, dogs, and rat catching, and you will be a disgrace to yourself and all your family." Despite his father's ambitions for him to become a doctor, Charles was drawn more to nature than to medicine or theology. In 1825, at the age of 16, Darwin enrolled at the University of Edinburgh Medical School, following in the footsteps of his father and grandfather. However, he found the lectures dull and surgery distressing. He neglected his medical studies to study marine invertebrates, making some of his first contributions to science under the guidance of Robert Grant. After 2 years at Edinburgh, it became clear that Charles had no interest in pursuing a medical career. His father, concerned about his son's future, suggested he become a clergyman. With this in mind, Darwin transferred to Christ's College, Cambridge, in 1828 to study for a Bachelor of Arts degree as the first step towards becoming an Anglican parson. At Cambridge, Darwin's true calling awaited him, and it would soon change the course of science forever. He became a close friend and follower of botany professor John Stevens Henslow, who introduced him to the scientific method and encouraged his interest in natural history. It was Henslow who recommended Darwin for the position of naturalist on the HMS Beagle's upcoming expedition. In 1831, at just 22 years old, Darwin embarked on a life-altering voyage aboard the HMS Beagle. This 5-year expedition would take him across the globe, from the lush forests of Brazil to the unique ecosystems of the Galapagos Islands. The journey was not just a geographical exploration but a profound intellectual adventure that would shape Darwin's thinking for years to come. During the voyage, Darwin made extensive observations of geology, fossils, and living organisms. He collected numerous specimens, including birds, plants, and fossils, which he sent back to England for further study. His observations of the distribution of wildlife and fossils began to raise questions in his mind about the immutability of species. It was in the Galapagos that Darwin's ideas began to take shape. Observing the diverse finches, each with unique beak shapes adapted to their environments, he pondered, could species change over time? The Galapagos finches, now known as Darwin's finches, became a key piece of evidence for his theory of evolution by natural selection. Returning to England in 1836, Darwin meticulously analyzed his findings. He began to develop his theory of evolution, but aware of its controversial nature, he proceeded cautiously. He confided in close friends like geologist Charles Lyell and botanist Joseph Dalton Hooker, who encouraged him to publish his ideas. Darwin spent the next 2 decades refining his theory and gathering evidence to support it. He conducted extensive research on various subjects, including the breeding of domesticated animals, the distribution of plants and animals, and the classification of species. This meticulous approach would later lend credibility to his revolutionary ideas. On November 24, 1859, after years of research and careful consideration, Darwin published On the Origin of Species by Means of Natural Selection, or the Preservation of Favored Races in the Struggle for Life. This groundbreaking work introduced the world to the theory of evolution by natural selection. The central ideas of Darwin's theory were: species can change over time. All species share common ancestors. The mechanism for change is natural selection. Natural selection acts on variation within populations. Given enough time, natural selection can produce significant changes in populations, leading to the emergence of new species. The response to On the Origin of Species was immediate and polarized. While some embraced his ideas, Others were outraged. The scientific community was largely receptive, recognizing the strength of Darwin's evidence and arguments. However, religious leaders and some members of the public were deeply troubled by the implications of evolution, particularly the idea that humans might share a common ancestor with apes. Nevertheless, Darwin continued his research, publishing works like The Descent of Man in 1871, which applied evolution to humanity. This work further explored the concept of sexual selection and discussed the evolution of human traits like intelligence and morality. In his personal life, Darwin married his first cousin, Emma Wedgwood, in 1839. They had 10 children, 7 of whom survived to adulthood. Darwin was a devoted father and husband, and his family life played a significant role in his work. He often involved his children in his experiments and observations, fostering their own curiosity about the natural world. However, the loss of his daughter Annie in 1851 deeply affected him. Annie's death at the age of 10 was a devastating blow to Darwin and his wife. This personal tragedy, combined with his scientific work, contributed to Darwin's loss of faith in Christianity and his eventual agnosticism. Throughout his life, Darwin battled ill health. He suffered from a variety of symptoms, including chronic fatigue, severe stomach pains, and heart palpitations. Despite these challenges, he remained dedicated to his work, even conducting experiments in his garden at Down House, where he lived from 1842 until his death. Charles Darwin passed away on April 19, 1882, at the age of 73. He was laid to rest in Westminster Abbey, a testament to his monumental contributions to science. His burial near Sir Isaac Newton symbolized his status as one of the most influential scientists in history. Darwin's theories laid the foundation for modern biology and have influenced countless fields, from psychology to philosophy. The concept of Natu. If you enjoyed this exploration of Charles Darwin's life and legacy, please like this video and subscribe to Bullet Point History for more captivating stories from the past.